Hello everyone. I'm Ted. And today we'll be continuing with Chapter 2. HR Policies and Evolution of HRM. Let's start. Now let's discuss the HR managers, challenges for 21st century. Coverage of HR policies. First, social responsibility. Equity, treating employees fairly and justly by adopting an even-handed approach. Consideration, considering individual circumstances when decisions affect the employee's prospects, seniority, or self-respect. Quality of work life, increasing the interest in a job and organization by reducing monotony, increasing variety of responsibility and avoiding stress and strain. Second, employment policies. Provision of equal employment opportunities involves selecting the candidates based on job requirements and encouraging them to put in their 100%. Third, promotion policies. Promotion policies should reconcile the demands of employees for growth and the organization's demands for fresh and much more promising talent. Promotion policies should be fair and just to all. Fourth, development policies. Policies should cover the kind of employees to be trained, time span of training programs, techniques, rewarding and awarding system, qualifications, and experience of the trainer, encouraging the employees for self-advancement, etc. These policies also cover areas like career planning and development, performance appraisal, organizational change, and organizational development. Fifth, relations policies. Relations policies cover different aspects of human relations like policies regarding motivation, morale, communication, leadership styles, grievance, disciplinary, procedure, employee counseling, etc. These policies also cover the areas of industrial relations like union recognition, union representation, collective bargaining, prevention, and settlement of industrial disputes and participative management. In order to be effective, they must be written on the basis of authentic information available from different sources. Moving next. HR policies in India. Current scenario. First, absence of exit policy. The number one demand of the industry exposed to global competition is with regard to exit policy. Industrialists and entrepreneurs of mid and small scale units are unanimous in their demand for having greater freedom in choosing appropriate numbers for running their units. The Industrial Disputes Act, 1947, comes in the way of retrenching surplus staff when the employer is faced with recessionary conditions, arising out of factors over which the employer has very little control. If the freedom to hire and fire is missing, then the employer is overburdened with problems of various kinds, such as having to feed the staff who cannot be put to productive work because of outdated skills, living with a constant fear of having to draw the shutters down because of lack of cost competitiveness, finding it extremely difficult to innovate and thereby outwit competition by not having the flexibility to even outsource quality work from specialist agencies, etc. Labor reforms. The government proposes to take the 40 different central labor laws and 100 state laws and merge them into 4 codes. The first of these proposed new codes will regulate wages. The second will define industrial relations. The third will look into occupational safety, health, and working conditions. And the fourth, most importantly, will regulate social security. The broad goal is to improve and ensure ease of doing business in India. The 4 codes have been drafted and put out in the public domain for a while now. The 3 codes on wages, industrial relations, and occupational safety have ensured that employers get a sense of heightened ease of doing business. However, the impact is uncertain on the worker. Trade unions, however, have opposed the changes quite vociferously in recent times. Workers have a reason to feel vulnerable. Under the changes envisaged in the Industrial Relations Code, only firms that employ more than 300 workers need government approval to fire its staff, revised upwards from the earlier limit of 100 workers. Strikes are on the way to getting almost banned, with strict provisions on notice periods and harsh penalties for defaulters. Minimum wages will now be revised only once every 5 years, and the code is also rather vague on interstate differences and on payment for overtime work. Initiative of Central Government. Underpayment of Bonus Amendment Act. Eligibility limit for payment of bonus enhanced from Rs 10,000 to Rs 21,000 per month, and the calculation ceiling from Rs 3,500 to Rs 7,000 or the minimum wages. Payment of Wages Amendment Act 2017, enabling payment of wages to employees by cash or check or crediting it to their bank account. Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Act 2016 provides for complete ban on employment of children below 14 years in any occupation or process. Maternity Benefit Amendment Act 2017 increases the paid maternity leave from 12 weeks to 26 weeks. The Employee Compensation Amendment Act seeks to rationalize penalties and strengthen the rights of the workers under the Act. The Payment of Gratuity Amendment Act 2018 provides flexibility to the central government, firstly to increase the ceiling limit of gratuity to such amount as may be notified from time to time, and secondly to enhance the calculation of continuous service for the purpose of gratuity in case of female employees who are on maternity leave to such period as may be notified from time to time. Vide notification dated March 29, 2018. The ceiling limit of gratuity has been increased from Rs 10 lakh to 20 lakh, and this period of maternity leave for calculation purpose has been enhanced from 12 weeks to 26 weeks. Government reforms. Ministry has notified ease of compliance to maintain registers under various labor laws rules 2017 on February 21, 2017, which has in effect replaced the 56 registers/forms under 9 central labor laws and rules made thereunder into 5 common registers/forms. This will save efforts, costs, and lessen the compliance burden by various establishments. A Model Shops and Establishments Bill 2016 has been circulated to all states/UTs for adoption with appropriate modification. The said bill inter alia provides for freedom to operate an establishment for 365 days in a year without any restriction on opening/closing time, and enables employment of women during night shifts if adequate safety provisions exist. Under Industrial Employment, Standing Orders, Act 1946, the category, i.e. fixed-term employment, with all statutory benefits, has been extended to all sectors to impart flexibility to an establishment to employ people to meet the fluctuating demands. Vide the Industrial Employment Central Rules, 2018. Ministry has also notified rationalization of forms and reports under certain labor laws rules, 2017 on March 28, 2017 for reduction of numbers of forms/returns under 3 central acts/rules from 36 to 12 by reviewing redundant and overlapping fields. Unified Annual Return. Unified Annual Return returns have been made mandatory in respect of these Central Labor Acts on the SHRM Suvidha portal. Second, corruption. In the name of enforcing various legislative measures, the factory inspectors extract their pound of flesh from employers every now and then. Most employers do not even bother to pay the minimum wages to worker, especially to those working in small and medium enterprises. For years together, they cooked the numbers with a view to avoid health, insurance, and social security benefits to workers. The provisions of various pieces of labor legislation, as a result, remain strong only on paper. Third, workforce in informal sector ignored totally. Over 90% of labor force in India work in the informal and unorganized sector. The Unorganized Social Security Act 2008, of course, was enacted with a clear intent to extend social security benefits to workers in the unorganized sector. However, in the absence of a written and enforceable contract between the employer and the worker, there is no way to lend a helping hand to the unorganized workforce. Fourth, equal pay for equal work not followed. Even in the organized sector, the principles of equity and natural justice are not followed by most employers. As a result, you have first, second and third class citizens working in the same plant and getting paid vastly different sums for performing similar kind of work. The Contract Labor Act, 1970 clearly mandates employers to extend same work, same pay rule to both permanent and contract workers working under the same roof. Of course, in reality this is rarely put into practice even in reputed companies. Fifth, organized sector is no better. Recent violent incidents in the main SAR plant of Maruti indicate that the problem of hiring temporary workers not getting their due, despite putting in years of service. In the name of lean manufacturing, if employers resort to hiring through contractors and deliberately plant seeds of distrust between regular and temporary workers, the industrial relations climate would worsen day by day. It is true that organized industry is impacted due to high variability in demand, and in sync with market trends they need to hire more people in the times of peak demand and discharge surplus staff during the lean periods. However, in a labor surplus and capital-hungry country like India, such a policy would give unquestioned power to greedy employers who would be exploiting the vulnerability of workers who fail to organize themselves effectively. The existing labor laws also encourage sprouting up of as many unions as possible within a plant or industry, spoiling the show completely. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. This video is brought to you by Bookstune. Like this video to encourage us. Share this video to spread the knowledge. And subscribe to this channel for latest update.